Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic which is industrial relations. We are also going to talk about its concept, its role and also the various approaches pertaining to it. So the importance of industrial relations cannot be ignored. We all know that in an organization we have to maintain good relations with our employers, or whether we talk about employees, creditors, suppliers, right? So similarly in an industry, okay, the relations between the workmen, the employers, okay, they have to be taken care of. So today we are going to discuss this all in detail. Now let us first understand the concept. See, the other name of industrial relations is labor relations, right? So in an industry where any manufacturing activity is taking place and workmen are involved, so it becomes very important that there exists a good relation between the employer and the workmen. Very right. If the relation, okay, between them is good, that is they both trust each other, okay, deal with each other in a fair way, then what will happen? Then the productivity of the organization will increase and eventually there will be profit. So it refers to the system in which employers, workers, and their representatives, such as trade unions, directly or indirectly, the state interact to set the ground rules for the governance of work relationships. So it also describes a field of study dedicated to examining such relationships. So very right. So we all know what trade unions are. They are basically representing our workers. Okay. So it's a system in which employers, okay, and the workers or their trade unions, they are interacting with each other. Okay. Why so? For the governance of work relationships. Very right. Now, when we talk about the importance of industrial relation, we need to know labor is the most crucial resource of a company. A company must effectively manage them, because if the worker is happy, the company will be growing, okay, and making more revenues. Very right, for the organization. So labor is something which is the backbone of an organization. He is the one who contributes for the production, in the production. Very right. Okay, so we need to manage them effectively, and the whole production function is dependent on the workers, and if they aren't confident with the company, then the production will eventually suffer. Okay, and finally the satisfaction of the employees and laborers are a matter of great concern, and the turnover of laborers and employees are directly dependent on satisfaction. Okay, the more the satisfaction, the lesser the turnover is, right? So they are inversely proportional to each other. Very right. So when we talk about the role of industrial relations, the first one is labor union management. See, with the mutual understanding, they form a body of unions, okay, workers. So it is known as laborers union or trade union, and it has a leader just like any governing body in a political system. So the leader should stand for the rights of the laborers in a company if they feel that anyone is hampering the rights of the workers in the company. Very right. The labor union leaders are allowed to speak directly to the managers and convey the messages of the labor on their behalf. So, labor union management is very important part of our industrial relations, right? Because it is something which is representing the laborers, okay, workmen, and the leaders of the labor union basically talk to the managers directly and raise the concerns of their laborers. Okay, now the other one is labor relationship. Every company has a unique group of laborers, okay, employees. Therefore, it should be managed while keeping in mind their requirements, needs, etc. Okay, now there are a few, these are a few everyday needs of the labor and the various ways in which a company can strengthen its relationship with the laborers. Okay, now the biggest priority in everyone's life is security. We all know laborers working in the organization are highly concerned about the security of their job. Okay, the life and health, the families are dependent on their livelihood. Therefore, the company must provide high job security, proper wage on time, various health insurance facility to create satisfaction among the workers. Okay, so labor relation is very important. Okay, the organization should focus on protecting the social security of a labor. Okay, like giving them, they can give them the health insurance, life insurance, gratuity, okay, job security, okay. And the other one is higher productivity. When the relations are sorted, then what happens? Then the workmen work with full zeal and enthusiasm, and thereby the productivity also augments. Okay, because if the laborers, workmen are getting what they deserve, then obviously they will work with full enthusiasm and will contribute their best for the organization. Now, mental revolution. The sign of good labor relations is that both the parties see each other as a pillar of the same building. Okay, so the mentality towards each other changes. Okay, so this is something very important. Now, approaches to industrial relations. The first one is the unitary approach. This approach says that both employer and the workman know the importance of each other, okay, and therefore there is no possibility of conflict. So, this is a very basic approach. It says that both the employer and employee know that they both are the backbone, they are the pillar on which the organization stands. So, they basically don't indulge in a conflict. Okay, this is unitary approach. Then the other one is the pluralistic approach. So it was given by John R. Common. So he believed that there are many vested interests. Okay, conflict is inevitable, that is, it is unavoidable. In an organization, we all know there are many interested parties. We have creditors, debtors, suppliers, we have your shareholders, we have so many people, employees and all, so they all have their individual interests, so the conflict is bound to happen. Okay, so the other approach is Giri approach. So it was given by VV Giri. He believed that there should be a bipartite machinery to solve the issues between both the parties. Okay, there should be a bipartite machinery. Okay, that is, there should be a solution amicably through a machinery, that is, a voluntary approach should be adopted. Now the other one is Marxist approach, also known as radical approach. It focuses on conflict being a result of the divisions in the society. So we all know about Karl Marx, right? Marxism view was given by him. So he believed that conflict is because there are capitalists, okay, in the society is basically divided. Capitalists are the ones who own the enterprise, whereas workers are the one who work in that organization, right? So the conflict is bound to happen because of the class difference in class, right? Now, the other approach was given by Gandhiji. He believed that every organization is a joint venture, okay, and therefore both the parties should work as co-partners, okay. So his approach is very interesting. He said that organization is a joint venture. That is, both the parties have to work in collaboration. Okay, they are the ones who are going to give the results to the organization through their contribution. Okay, so they should work amicably, right? Now the other approach is systems approach. It was suggested by John Dunlop. He focused on three factors of the for the relationship: the process, environmental forces, and output. Okay, so these factors bind the employer towards the contribution for organization's growth. So it was given by John Dunlop, and he said that it is a system. An organization is a system wherein process, environmental forces, and output should work collaboratively give the to contribute towards the organization's growth. Now, human relations or neoclassical approach, it was given by Keith Davis. It says that humans are different from the other sources. They should be treated fairly so that they remain loyal to the organization. Very right. Now let us practice some important questions. Under which approach of IR the focus is on bipartite machinery? Now the first option is Gandhian approach, systems approach, or unitary or Giri approach. See, is on bipartite machinery, right? So it's in Giri approach that we focus on solving the disputes within the organization only. Okay. Now the other one is which approach says there is no possibility of conflict among the employer and the employee. Pluralistic systems, unitary or human relations. So there is no possibility of conflict among employee and employer was basically told through the unitary approach, right? So the correct answer is option C for this. So this was all for today. Hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for your time.